I asked each and every one of you how many of y'all received something from the word of the Lord. Everyone in this place said these words, I did. Because of your acknowledgement of what God did in word, there is an obligation that is attached.
Many people know Marvin Sapp as one of the most powerful voices in gospel music. For years, he has inspired audiences with his songs, sermons, and strong presence in the church. But recently, things around his name have taken a different turn, drawing attention and raising many questions among fans and followers. What was once a story of success and faith is now surrounded by controversy and debate. So, what exactly is happening to Marvin Sapp? Why are things suddenly not looking good for him? Marvin Sapp and his rise in gospel music. Marvin Sapp is a well-known American gospel singer, songwriter, and pastor who has made a strong impact in both music and ministry. Over the years, he has become one of the most respected voices in gospel music, known for his powerful singing style, emotional delivery, and deep messages of faith, hope, and perseverance. He was born on January 28, 1967, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and grew up with a strong interest in music and religion. From a young age, Marvin Sapp showed a natural talent for singing, and he often performed in church. His early exposure to gospel music helped shape his passion and guided him toward a life dedicated to ministry through music. Marvin Sapp first gained major attention in the 1990s as a member of the gospel group Commissioned. The group was very popular in gospel circles and helped bring a modern sound to traditional gospel music. Sapp's voice stood out because it was both strong and emotional, and he quickly became one of the group's key members. His time with Commissioned helped him learn more about the music industry and prepared him for a solo career. After leaving the group, Marvin Sapp started his solo career, and this is where he truly rose to fame. His music focused on themes such as trusting God, staying strong during hard times, and finding hope in difficult situations. One of his most famous songs, Never Would Have Made It, became a global gospel hit. The song touched millions of people because of its honest message about surviving struggles and giving credit to God for strength and success. It became one of the most played gospel songs of its time and helped establish Sapp as a major figure in gospel music. As his career grew, Marvin Sapp released many successful albums and continued to produce songs that inspired listeners. His music is known for its deep emotional feeling, often reflecting personal experiences of loss, struggle, and victory. Many fans connect with his songs because they feel real and relatable. In addition to his music career, Marvin Sapp is also a pastor. He leads the Lighthouse Full Life Center Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan. As a pastor, he preaches messages of faith, healing, and hope, often using his music as part of his ministry. His role in the church has allowed him to reach people not only through songs, but also through sermons and community work. Marvin Sapp's influence in gospel music goes beyond entertainment. He is seen as a spiritual leader who uses his voice to encourage people during hard times. Many younger gospel artists look up to him as a role model because of his consistency, dedication, and ability to connect with audiences on a deep emotional level. However, Marvin Sapp continues to perform, record music, and preach, maintaining his place as one of the most influential figures in gospel music. What role did he play as a pastor? Was he a leader? Let's find out. Marvin's role as a pastor and church leader. Marvin Sapp is widely known worldwide as a gospel singer, but his influence extends far beyond music. He is also a pastor and church leader who has spent many years serving people spiritually. While many fans first discovered him through his powerful voice and inspiring gospel songs, his work in ministry shows a deeper side of his life. He is not only an entertainer, but also a man who took on the responsibility of guiding people in their faith. As a pastor, he became a spiritual guide for many believers. His job was not just to preach on Sundays, but to help people understand the Bible in a way that connects to everyday life. He taught messages about hope, faith, forgiveness, and strength during hard times. Many members of his church saw him as someone they could turn to when life became overwhelming. Whether people were dealing with sickness, loss, family problems, or financial struggles, he was expected to offer comfort and direction through spiritual teaching. Over time, his leadership role grew even stronger. He was recognized as a bishop, a title given to trusted and experienced church leaders in many Christian groups. This position meant he was no longer responsible for only one congregation. Instead, he had oversight over other pastors and churches as well. This made his role much larger and more serious because he had to support and guide other leaders in their ministry work. As a bishop, he was expected to make wise decisions that would affect many churches and believers. For someone like Marvin Sapp, this level of responsibility came with very high expectations. His congregation looked up to him as a spiritual example. They expected him to live a life that matched the teachings he preached. This meant showing honesty, humility, discipline, and strong moral values in both public and private life. People believed that a pastor should not only speak about faith, but also demonstrate it through actions. Because of this, every part of his life was closely observed by church members and the wider Christian community. His fans also placed strong expectations on him. Many of them admired him not just for his music, but for his role as a man of God. His songs often spoke about faith, healing, and trusting in God during difficult times. Because of this, people expected him to live in a way that reflected those messages. They saw him as a role model, especially for young believers who looked up to him for inspiration. This meant that even outside the church, his behavior was expected to represent Christian values. Being both a pastor and a public figure was not easy. He had to balance two demanding worlds, ministry and music. On one hand, he was traveling and performing gospel concerts, reaching audiences across different countries. On the other hand, he was responsible for the daily needs of his church community. This included counseling individuals, visiting the sick, praying for families, and guiding people through personal and spiritual struggles. Each responsibility required time, energy, and emotional strength. As his influence grew, so did the pressure. People expected him to always be available, always wise, and always strong. However, like any human being, he also faced challenges and personal struggles. The weight of leadership meant that even small actions or decisions could be judged by others. This level of public attention made his role even more demanding because mistakes were often discussed widely. Despite these pressures, his leadership had a meaningful impact on many lives. His sermons often focused on real-life issues, helping people find hope during difficult seasons. He spoke about perseverance, trusting God through pain, and holding on to faith when life feels uncertain. Some people who might never attend a church service were still touched by his music and later became interested in faith. What controversy did Marvin find himself in? How did it play out? Let's find out. Fundraising scandal. On July 23, 2024, Marvin Sapp delivered a sermon at the 109th Pentecostal Assemblies of the World Convention. This was a large church gathering where many pastors, ministers, and church members came together for worship, teaching, and encouragement. During his message, Sapp began speaking about giving and financial support for the church. At one point, he repeatedly instructed his ushers to close the doors, a phrase that caught the attention of many viewers later on. While preaching, he also spoke directly about donations. He told the audience that there were about 1,000 people in the building and another 1,000 people watching the service online. Based on that estimate, he encouraged everyone present and those online to give $20 each. He explained that if everyone contributed that amount, the total donations could reach approximately $40,000. His point was to illustrate how small individual contributions, when combined, could generate significant support for the event and the ministry. The entire service was streamed live on the official Pentecostal Assemblies of the World YouTube channel that same day. Because it was available online, people from different places could watch the sermon in real time or later as a recording. Over the next 9 months, the video gathered more than 72,000 views. As more people watched it, different opinions began to form about what was said during the service, especially around the topic of fundraising. Later, on March 26, 2025, a short clip from the sermon appeared on TikTok. A user known as Christian Unique 72 posted the video, and it quickly spread across the platform. Within just 1 week, it received over 720,000 views, showing how fast content can travel on social media once it starts gaining attention. However, the TikTok clip also led to some misunderstanding. In the video, it appeared as though Marvin Sapp was asking ushers to close the doors at his local church during a regular service. This made it seem like the event happened in a normal church setting, rather than at a large national convention. Because of this, many viewers believed the situation was different from what actually happened. In reality, the close the doors moment took place during a convention gathering, not during a routine church service at his home congregation. But since the TikTok clip removed that wider context, many people online interpreted the situation in different ways. But how did Sapp respond? Did he say what people expected? Let's take a closer look. Marvin Sapp's response. On March 31st, 2025, Marvin Sapp appeared on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show in a YouTube interview to respond to a controversy that had been spreading widely online. The video of this interview quickly gained attention. Within just 2 days, it had more than 58,000 views, around 1,600 likes, and about 1,500 comments. This shows that many people were interested in hearing his side of the story and understanding what really happened. The controversy itself came from a clip that circulated online showing Sapp speaking during a church-related event. Some people who watched the short clip felt that he was pressuring the audience to give money in a way that seemed forceful. Because the video was short and removed from the full event, many different opinions and misunderstandings began to spread on social media. Some viewers believed he was speaking directly to his regular church members, while others thought the message seemed too intense or demanding. During the interview, Sapp strongly addressed these concerns and tried to clear up what he believes was a misunderstanding. He explained that the clip was taken out of its full context. According to him, the event was not a normal Sunday service at his church. Instead, it was a convention where many churches and church leaders gathered together. This is important, he said, because the setting changes the purpose of the offering and the way the message should be understood. He also corrected the idea that people were locked inside the building or forced to stay. He said that the doors were not locked at any point during the event. This was his way of pushing back against online claims that suggested people were being trapped or held against their will. He insisted that everyone who was present was there freely and could leave at any time if they wanted to. Another major point he addressed was the purpose of the money that was being collected. He explained that the funds raised during that moment were not meant for his personal use or for his local church. Instead, the money was for the convention itself. These types of gatherings often require financial support to cover costs such as organizing the event, hosting speakers, and supporting the overall program. Sapp emphasized that he did not personally receive the money that was being asked for in the clip. While defending the situation, he also admitted that his delivery may have come across in a way that upset some people. He said that he might have been more assertive than necessary in how he spoke during that moment. In simpler terms, he acknowledged that his tone may have sounded too strong or too intense for some viewers. Because of that, he offered an apology for the way it appeared, even though he still maintained that his intentions were not wrong. Sapp made it clear that his apology was about the tone and perception of his words, not about wrongdoing in terms of taking money or misleading people. He insisted again that the money raised did not go to him personally, and that the situation was being misunderstood due to short video clips spreading online without full context. He also shared something more serious during the interview. He claimed that after the video went viral, he began receiving death threats. According to him, the backlash went beyond criticism and became dangerous. This added a heavier emotional layer to the situation, as it showed how quickly online controversies can escalate and affect a person's safety and mental well-being. The interview was Sapp's attempt to defend himself, correct what he saw as false assumptions, and calm the situation. He focused on explaining the difference between a church convention and a local church service, stressing that the financial request was part of a larger event and not personal fundraising. At the same time, he acknowledged that his communication style may have contributed to public misunderstanding. In this case, many people formed strong reactions based on a small segment of a much longer event. Sapp's interview was an effort to fill in the missing details. Even after his explanation, opinions remained divided among viewers. Some people accepted his clarification and apology, while others still felt uncomfortable with the original moment. So, how did people react on social media? Was there an outburst? Let's find out. Online reactions. In March 2025, a video involving gospel singer and pastor Marvin Sapp spread very quickly across social media platforms. Within a short time, it became viral, meaning it was shared, watched, and talked about by thousands of people online. However, much of the attention came from misunderstanding. Many viewers believed the video showed Sapp preaching directly to his church members in a normal church setting. Because of this confusion, people reacted strongly, and the clip quickly turned into a major online topic filled with opinions, jokes, and arguments. As the video spread, social media users began discussing it on X. On March 26, 2025, a user with the handle @NolaConjureLady made a post reacting to what they thought they had seen in the video. The user wrote, "Did I just see a video of Marvin Sapp telling the ushers to close the doors and no one could leave until everyone sowed a seed totaling $40,000? This post suggested that Sapp had instructed church ushers to close the exits so that people would stay until a large amount of money, $40,000, was collected from the audience. The post quickly gained attention, receiving more than 3,100 likes in just 1 week. This shows how fast the story was spreading and how many people were engaging with it, even if they were unsure about the full context. On the same day, another ex-user @StopFainin responded by quoting the original post and sharing a very critical opinion. This user accused Marvin Sapp of pressuring his congregation for money in a dishonest way. The post said, "Marvin Sapp is clearly hustling his congregation for $40K and using God's name to do it. That's not faith. That's a shakedown and a false prophet." This message was even more emotionally charged, meaning it used strong and negative language to express anger and disbelief. It gained even more attention, receiving over 26,000 likes in a week. This shows how quickly strong opinions can spread online, especially when they are connected to religious topics or controversial interpretations. However, as the story continued to circulate, false information also began to appear. On March 27, 2025, rumors started spreading online, claiming that Marvin Sapp had been arrested because of the incident shown in the video. These claims were not true, but they still spread quickly across social media. This is an example of how misinformation can grow during viral events, especially when people share posts without checking the facts. Even though there was no evidence of an arrest, the rumor still reached many users before it was corrected or dismissed. At the same time, the video became a source of entertainment and humor on platforms like TikTok. Many users turned the situation into memes and comedy skits. Instead of focusing only on the serious accusations being made online, they created short videos, imagining what it would be like to be present during the event. In these skits, users often acted out exaggerated reactions, such as trying to escape when the doors were supposedly closed, or reacting in shock to the request for donations. These creative videos helped the story spread even further, because humorous content is often widely shared. On March 29, 2025, a TikTok user known as @K_MoneyEye posted one of the most popular skits about the situation. In the video, he acted out a scene where he quickly runs out of a room after hearing that the ushers were told to close the doors. This video became extremely popular, gaining over 1.4 million views in just 4 days. The large number of views shows how strongly the trend was resonating with TikTok users and how quickly it was spreading through entertainment content. 2 days later, on March 31, 2025, another TikTok user @0FFLINE_USERRR posted a related meme-style video. In this skit, the creator humorously realizes they made a mistake by attending the event after hearing that the doors were being closed. So, what do you think about Marvin Sapp's shocking controversy? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.